Ventures, which is a holding company that owns equity stake in the following businesses. So there's Juja TV, there's Morphan Studios, Kilon Coin, which helps blockchain-based games perform that rewards players. So one thing that I've learned from the panelists before is that we are in an era where you're getting paid to do stuff that you love. So if you love drawing ads, you love playing games, it's no longer that time where playing games is wasting your time. It's a time where you get paid to do things that you would have done otherwise for free, and you enjoy doing that, okay? So we're going to have these panelists explain to us how to experience these VR kits, how they're going to be used in the metaverse. And our speaker is very much, one of these panelists is very, very much experienced in the space because this is what they do on a daily. And help me welcome Ken Jenga. Ken Jenga.
He's preparing the journey.
All right. Our next speaker is the Chief Executive Officer, Mithingi Ventures, which is an events company, a brand company. He founded this company in quest to elevate the discourse of creativity of events. So this is a guy who was doing events physically, and now saw an opportunity to do events even in the metaverse. And that's one of the avenues that we're going to experience today. So there are some people who are live right now on CryptoVoxels, which is a metaverse platform. You can actually experience it using your phone, you don't need a laptop. And it's on our pinned Twitter, our last tweet on our Twitter page at African Meta Club. So if you want to also experience the metaverse, to have that metaverse experience on your phone, make sure you do that. Sam is a mental health nurse with over 8 years experience, having graduated and worked in Adelaide, Australia. He continues to champion mental health awareness young people. So help me welcome Mr. Sam Mwangi, who is our second panelist. Thank you so much. And our final panelist is not going to be with us today here. He's virtual. He is a very, very experienced AI expert, 25 years in the space. He is someone who does extensive research on how AI, all these modern technologies are going to affect us, all industries. He is an eminent data scientist and a quantum scientist. Those who understand that means that this guy is very experienced in the space, working with all big fintech and big companies like IBM, head of artificial intelligence division in Yes Bank. Is currently the chief digital officer at Allied Digital Services Limited. This is a guy who has been recognized in the Global AI Ambassador 2022 and AI Champion of India. He is none other than Paul Chuck Raboti. May help me welcome Paul. He's joining us live virtually. And finally, I'm going to introduce the moderator for the session. She is an entrepreneur. She loves making money, and she saw an opportunity in the metaverse, which is currently pursuing. She's the founder of Metaverse, which is a platform that helps people like you and me to onboard you guys to the metaverse. If you don't understand, if you don't get it, you can check out Metaverse on Twitter, LinkedIn. Make sure you check, you follow her, and make sure you get to learn more from her. She's a Web3 enthusiast, and she will be moderating our session today. So help me welcome Lynn Goki. And guys, are you ready to experience the metaverse?
Yes.
Are you ready?
Yes.
Because we have some VR kits ready here. And are you ready? Fantastic. So I'm going to hand over the mic to Lynn so that she can lead the session.
Yes, so good morning. Is it a morning? I'm not really sure. So my name is Lee. I don't know if I'm audible or I can hear myself. So I am very privileged to be here and thank you for coming. So before even we begin the session and everything, I want us to venture into the Metaverse. Okay? We have had a lot of jargons and a lot of people are looking at me or looking at our panelists as if they're speaking Greek because it's something new. But as we say on our social media platforms, our goal for this event is not just to talk about the Metaverse, but also immerse you. So I'm also requesting for we volunteers. How many of us want to go to the Metaverse? How many? Okay, so how will I select? Picky Ponky? Do I do Picky Ponky? Okay, need one lady. Kindly answer your hands. The lady is there. The guy from Gia, I saw his hands first. Now between among you, I'm in the Web3 space and we believe in that. Can you choose among you who wants to go? Yeah, please come to the country. We want 3 volunteers so we can take them in the Metaverse, and I hope you won't stay there for long. I hear there's some people who stay in the Metaverse for more than 2 days. It's very addictive, by the way. 1 month. It's very addictive. So don't stay in the Metaverse for too long. We have a very good lineup for us. So, how do we go about it? Okay? What is it? Okay, kindly follow me. Or follow Ken. Kindly follow Ken. Or there's someone there. Okay. So they will experience the Metaverse and we will get to see what they're doing via the projector. Are you ready? I would have loved to immerse each and every one of you, but unfortunately, we don't have enough VR sets. Or probably maybe in the next conferences we'll be having enough VR sets so that each and every one of you can be immersed. How many of us have ever worn these VR sets? How many of us have ever experienced it? 3D movies? Ladies, somewhere for movies? 3D? Okay, we're gonna take you there. Okay. 3D gaming. Gamers around. Oh, the lady there. Oh my god. Okay, just follow me. Kindly. Just follow me. And you have the permission to remove one of the gentlemen, giving you the permission. Gender balance. So this is a side, this is a scene. Can you take us through what you're doing in the side?
So, hi everyone.
Hello.
We're glad to be here and be giving you a sneak peek of a gallery that I'm going to be doing. It's on special Metaverse. I will be on the Metaverse, so maybe you could help us with that. We'll be walking around just for like a minute or 2.
Which platform are you using?
It's spatial, and in fact, spatial, if you have your desktop, laptop, you can access it. If you have your phone, you can download the app. You can join us.
Yeah, spatial. Go look for spatial. You can look it on via your phones. It's very accessible. You don't need the VR set. So they're just gonna walk around. So here's an exhibition site, or what do you call these things? It's our scene or in our land or whatever. So we have our NFTs in this NFTs exhibition. And we can see Kenzo. Kenzo is dancing actually. That is Kenzo. Meet Kenzo. There's someone sitting down there. That is, I can't see the name. Okay.
So I don't know whether you should go to the rest to get to the tutorial.
Yeah, sure. How many of us have avatars so far? In case you don't know, this is what we call avatars. Just learn this jargon. When someone tells you about avatars, it's just a digital representation of yourself in the Metaverse. So some of you, if you like funny characters, you can have your avatar as an orange, a pili, an avocado, you can have your avatar as a dragon, whatever you imagine. That is what I love about the Metaverse. Whatever you imagine, you create it. So let's just see what they are doing around in the Metaverse. You can also join them, it's partial. Go to your Google or Play Store, download Spatial. So this is our site. I don't know who is Mark Timing. And again, Mark Time. Someone Mark Timing in our Metaverse. Sakenzo.
So this is one of the I hope you can hear me. Yes. So you can see this is a lady, but she's bearing the name. So that's a discrepancy. I was supposed to change the avatar. So ukijipata unaenda kuongelesha mtu kwa Metaverse anakadema alafu anaongea kama mwanaume. He's probably not yet set up the avatar. So I can see you have a good number. So I'll walk you through this space. So we have this auditorium. We have this screen. We have some art going on here. We'll get to see all of them. So I can see 1, 2, 3, 4. So we are 5. Okay, so basically, if we had started, kindly, if you can mute your mics. So if we had started this a little bit earlier and live streamed it, we'll be having a lot more people here. So we are about 5. This is the auditorium. We were supposed to converge here. The screen ought to have been having a live stream, but the setup is still ongoing. So we'll just move over to the next portal where we have this art, the art that you can see on the screen. So kindly Paula, let me call this Kenzo 1, Kenzo 2, and Sherry. So Kenzo, okay, all these Kenzos here, and the Paula and Pfizer. I see Pfizer is around also. I'm not sure whether we're expecting more people, but if there'll be anyone else coming through, you'll just meet us on the other side. So guys, kindly you can move over to the next. There's a portal up there. So you just direct your pointers there and travel to the gallery. So basically a portal is like a link. I don't know the right words to use for the portal, but I believe it's low-key self-explanatory. It's like moving from Nairobi to Mombasa, but without using the road or the plane. It's like teleporting. Yeah, that's the right word, teleporting. So you can have as many portals as possible in this spatial metaverse. I'll be talking more about some of the things that you need to do so that you can have access to all these metaverses using the same avatar. So kindly guys, if you can just converge here so that you can walk around the gallery together. Pfizer, I think Pfizer should be here. See, there is someone dancing here. So I guess we'll just start. The rest will catch up. The scene is still loading.
Take pictures there.
Yeah.
Tweet.
The scene is still loading. Let's give it a little bit of time.
Yeah.
So yeah, amazing. We have some 3D assets here that are loading. Nice. Yeah, that's basic right there. You can wait. Who's doing this? I think it's Vic, yeah?
No, it's not Vic.
It's you. So just sit around that way. We'll just walk around together. Yeah, we cannot do this. So these are some of your art. You guys submitted your art. Most of them, I presume, they are for AI art, AI generated art. So we can start from this end. Some.
Yeah, I'm behind you.
Oh, okay, so we have art around here, but we also wanted to recognize the African heritage. So we imported some 3D assets. Like this is a mask from one of the communities in Southern Africa. We have arts here. I won't say which one was your favorite, but I talk about it. You'll see it just now. We have a Zulu man here. This is one of the soldiers from South Africa as well. Don't ask me why I don't have Maasai here. Kenyans, we need to wake up. We need 3D assets for our communities. So, yeah, just a moment. My headset went off. Nice. So, yeah. I see Sherry is here. So we can move to the other side. So we have this futuristic speedway here. I presume in the near future we'll be having more of this, and they'll probably be autonomous. What you see in front here is some, if you can follow me as I go so that guys can understand what I'm talking about. Yeah, so what you see right there, these are spacesuits. I happen to incorporate them here because there's an article about NASA building the metaverse, Mars, a metaverse for Mars. Like they are doing space explorations of the metaverse for Mars. So soon we'll be able to visit Mars on the metaverse. Guys, don't sit down. Let's walk this side.
They want to sit down in the metaverse.
There's a gallery on this other side. So we have an African 3D model here. It's an African lady. We have more art on this side. And more art. There's this other spacesuit here. Another 3D model. It's an old African lady. You guys can move a little bit faster. On the other end, some.
Yeah.
On the other end. Yeah. So we have this African lady right here. These are just 3D models that I happen to collect from Sketchfab, and I imported them here. You guys have some amazing arts here. So you can move over to the last side. So this is just a sneak peek of how the metaverse looks like. So basically you need these avatars to be able to serve the metaverse. For this particular metaverse, you can use your phone, your desktop, but it's a little bit more immersive using VR. It's more engaging. So I'm on this other side. So I'll just do the final tour here. Then if you can walk with me. We have some more art here. This one was awesome. We had another art here, a 3D model. So this is just a sneak peek of how the metaverse basically looks like. We have so many metaverse places we get to talk about them, but basically give you guys a glimpse of how it is, how you can interact with your friends on the metaverse without necessarily converging. I mean, I had to come all the way from Nakuru. I left the place at 4 a.m. in order to attend this. But if it would have been possible, I would have wished to do this from the metaverse. So yeah, that's just a sneak peek. Maybe Sam can keep on doing the rounds as you proceed. So
Wow, that's amazing. You can hand I hope my volunteers are start in the metaverse. I really hope so. So thank you, Sam. Thank you, Black Rhino. Black Rhino did this amazing work. They're the ones who brought the VR sets. You can follow up on Black Rhino. And then also every art that you see here, the majority of the art pieces in our museum, they're from our Kenyan NFT club, our Kenyan artists. Not only Kenyan, African artists. We have a lot of from Nigerians, we have people from all over the African continent who submitted their artwork. I believe some of them are here. So, as you can see, we have very brilliant and in the course of the week, in this course of the week, each and every artist was highlighting what their art is made of, why did they come up with. So you can just go back to our Twitter spaces if you want to understand this art. And they are also here, you can interact with them, and also you can immerse with yourself in the metaverse later on. But for now, I think we'll start our panel session, right? Okay, so we'll just get started. Our volunteers on the group. I told you they'll get started. I didn't lie. Yeah. So, thank you so much. I hope you do remember our panelists. With me, I have Samuel Mwangi, CEO with Vicky Ventures. I have Mr. Kenzo, part of the, we like calling the manager of More Fun Ventures because there's so much into More Fun. And one fun thing I love about Mr. Kenzo, I call him Mr. Kenzo, although he's Ken. He spends his evening in the metaverse. Every time I call him in the night, where are you, Kenzo? He's in the metaverse. So it's hard to interact with Kenzo if you're not in the metaverse. And then last but not least, I'm very honored to interview this particular guest from all the way from India. He's a well-known speaker, an AI researcher. He has been in the industry for over 25 years, well-known in the Indian industry, AI space. He's also an author. He has written 5 books, and one of them is one of the best-selling blockchain books. So for me, I'm very honored to have Mr. Udpal. I don't even know how to receive him. I am trying my best. I'll just try my best to mint out every knowledge that this man has, because he is one of the key industry players in this industry. So maybe I can start with confirming, is the mic okay? Can we, everything okay? Can Mr. Udpal, can you hear us? Okay, I think there's a problem with the audio, we can't hear. Maybe we'll catch up later. But maybe I'll start with Kenzo kindly. Kevin, this panel is about mixed reality. And a lot of people are wondering, what are these jargons? Mixed reality, virtual reality, artificial intelligence, augmented reality. Maybe you can just start with a brief description of what is the mixed reality. Can we have you start?
So, hi everyone. I'd like to reintroduce myself. I go by the name Kenyan. Those are my official names. But there are most people call me Kenzo. I do a lot of stuff. I think, not to brag, but I mean I have the benefit of time to be able to engage in a lot of stuff.
Definitely.
Yeah, so one of the things that I do, and that is what I'll be talking about here, is the metaverse, virtual reality, augmented reality, and mixed reality. And to talk about that, I'll introduce a company that I work with, partial shareholder, and that is Virtual Instance. So Virtual Instance is a company that specializes in VR, what you're basically seeing here. We also, so with VR, basically we do VR in education. So I'm sure with the previous panel you heard about Rwanda creating their park in the metaverse. So I'd like to think of that as a virtual tour, and that's one of the things that we get to do in VR in education. So we actually take kids to places where the buses can never get to. Like, their buses can never take them there. So for instance, it's the park that you heard about. We have lots of places. We normally do tours around the world as well using VR. So we get to teach them as well using the VR. For instance, there's a lesson about a mountain eruption. See, they can actually get to interact with the mountain eruption from the point where it's a magma until it's eruption. I wish I had prepared some slides here. We also do like, I'm assuming it's a, what do you call, digestive system. Like the kids can get to see how the food goes into the mouth of the process until they defecate or, yeah. So, yeah, that is VR. We also do virtual staging. And with virtual staging is, assume we have this room that is empty. So you can actually stage, assuming you want to buy these seats, you can stage them there, and that's essentially AR. The virtual staging and AR, they go side by side. If you checked out Victoria Court, we've done a virtual staging for them. If you want to buy a seat from Victoria Court, you can actually test it out from home. Like just go to their website and get the 3D model of the seat that you want. You can just hold your phone and you see how it fits in your living room, if it's a bed, and so on. Another thing we do is the 360 tours. So assuming you have a website, let's say you have a school, and you have a website, so we can actually create a tour for this whole school, so that regardless of where I am, I can actually visit the school and use hotspots to visit every corner of the school. So that's basically virtual tours. And yeah, and the Metaverse, you'll find me in the Metaverse. As Lynn said, if you would find me on Spatial, I'll be on Artspace, if not Artspace. Okay, there's a number, CryptoVoxel. We have a number of Metaverse platforms, which I hope we'll also get to talk about.
Yeah, so can they define for us in the most simplest and modest form what is virtual reality and mixed reality?
So, virtual reality, I am more of a practical person. So, virtual reality, this is it. I believe you understand more by seeing. Mixed reality is the combination of VR and AR.
What is AR?
So AR is the projection of a 3D model that's not really there, but you can actually see it there using your headset or maybe your phone.
Maybe I can give an example of AR. How many of us are in TikTok or Instagram? Nowadays, TikTok, Instagram, and Snapchat, they're introducing virtual objects into your pictures. I can take a picture, and then maybe they introduce something like a bus or a spider. There's this filter on Snapchat whereby you just take a picture, and then you see a spider crawling all over yourself. Have you seen such kind of a thing? That is something similar to AR, or a user case, a similar user case to augmented reality. Now I'll go to you, sir. You are the CEO of Nidigi Ventures. Nidigi Ventures does a lot of VR events. So what is the user case? If I want to starting this business of virtual reality, how did you get started with it?
So hi everyone.
Hi.
Sam. I'm a mental health nurse and a medic. So I've done nursing in mental health and then I did my medicine. Then I moved back to a lovely country, invested in events. So screens, weekends, these gadgets. So basically, we're in the industry. I'm in the industry of not understanding what VR is, but I'm in the industry of understanding how VR can give me a business.
Oh, the money side.
Right? I might not understand what it is. But the moment I figure out that I can make money with it, buy it. And that's why I'm upset about this. Because mostly during the corona time, I think this is where this thing had that picked up.
Yeah, yeah.
Because you want to create, companies want to continue running, meetings want to continue happening. Even today, there are people who have not yet gone back to work, not because Corona is gone, but the company has realized that we are actually saving cost when people are not in offices. So that is where I am in, that is the space I am in. Understanding, having a little understanding of the gadget and then understanding the business part of it. So, first of all is to understand who uses this and it is in what space. Because you can have a gadget and put money and you do not know where it's going to. I enjoyed this conversation with his name, Benjamin.
Yeah, Benjamin.
Where I say it's time to turn your skills into money. Because we are living in a world where money is a factor.
Yeah.
As much as it's passion, we need to convert it to money. So the first thing is to understand who are you selling this to and who is going to buy it. If you have those two in your pocket, then you're game. Alright? Thirdly, you need to make it efficient in a way that it is usable friendly. Ushaitengeneza website na mtu haujui kutumia website na ni yako. Who has ever seen a website that you don't know how to use? And it is yours. And then there's a same person, there's a same a different company with a website that is very friendly to use. So every time I approach you guys, I always tell them to create something that is friendly. Whether I am organizing, like right now we are Acropolis, we're part of the people of the setup, and we are asked by API that we want something, we want to understand what are you selling to us. We always come up with these 3D things. But now we're taking them to another level where it was 3D when you create the 3Ds that you guys create and then you show them when they're looking at it now on a wall, looking at it on a phone. Now we go to those meetings with these things and we give them that experience. So we give these guys a platform to create an event that has not yet happened, but will happen. So when we put a stretch tent here, if we say Zone B is going to be a bar, Zone C is going to be a kids section, you guys have an opportunity to create that and walk these guys through either the VR or the VR and MR is both experiences, yes? Or the MR experience. So for us, is us creating that platform. For you, is me challenging you guys to one, make it user friendly. You have so much knowledge about this platform, and I like how she's asking us in a layman's language, because we want to know about it. Concerts are happening, and they are using holograms and all that stuff.
Yeah, sure.
You know.
Yeah.
So in a platform where you have the brains, there are people in the platform who know who to take those things to. Please make them user friendly, and you're going to sell it.
Well, thank you. I hope you've learned something from what Sam has said about the money part. Sam is more concerned about the money part. I've seen Rethink Ventures. He's been doing a lot of corporate events with AI cells. Actually, that is where I met him. So I have with me our honored panelist member, Mr. Otpal. I don't know if you can hear me, and I don't know how the sound system is. Can you hear me? Okay, there's still a problem. We can't hear you on our end. There's something wrong on our end. Okay. Can you hear me? Yeah, we can hear you. Can you hear him quite audible? Okay, the backbench cannot hear you quite well. Can you do something, the technical thing? The technical thing is still working on your audibility. But I'm very honored to have this man all the way from India. Actually, he has been labeled as the AI champion of India. Can you imagine what a privilege to have Mr. Gopal? The whole India, you're labeled AI champion. So he can tell you how much of expertise he is. He's also an author, written 5 books. I think I mentioned that earlier. He's also he has been in the AI space. So in case about AI came just a few years ago, Mr. Gopal will challenge your knowledge. AI has been here for the longest time, and he has been in the space for over 25 years. So, how is the progress over?
Try one more time and see.
Okay. We still have an audio issue. Thank you for understanding. I really want to move a lot from him.
Yeah, hapo sasa tukafi.
Sorry, we still can't.
Pay 2 minutes, 2 and
Can you just give us like 1 minute? Sorry for that.
It's already connected, the audio is already.
Yeah, meanwhile we can go back to our conversations with our physical attendee. So, Sam, this is something that I always get, or a question that I always get when it comes to VR, mixed reality, and everything. You have been in this space, and you're also a mental health nurse, and you graduated from Australian University. There's a lot of exposure there. But however, the major concern I get about VR, mixed reality, and all that, is it creating a new level of addiction? And is it creating a new level of somehow kind of an iteration of us living who we are in the physical and venturing into the virtual? And it's like an escape. A lot of people say VR, AR, and all these mixed realities are escape to our natural core. So as a mental health advocate and someone who's done this, what do you feel about that?
First of all, addiction is everywhere. It's not just in VR.
Can you hear us, Mr. Uko? Okay, you can hear not yet. Sorry about that. Okay, we're still fixing on our end.
Just tell him to say something.
Okay. The problem is on our end. We apologize.
Just tell him to say something.
Okay, now we can hear you. Sorry about that. Thank you.
We're trying to make him audible.
So, we were selling more. Sorry, seconds. Trying to make you audible. Okay, sound and
So addiction is everywhere. I cannot say it's
We're trying to make him audible.
it's automatic now. It's real addiction. Addiction is normal. It's just personal discipline where you don't take so much time in it.
There's no difference between plug this in and take this speaker. If you plug this in.
We have smokers who, if you feel like that's an avenue where you want to channel out your frustration, they smoke so much, they overeat. I'm trying to make it as normal as possible, so that because most people in this industry people think, oh, napenda kujiweka kivyake. But I don't think it's addiction. Everybody has something. I'm into events. I start at 3 a.m. That does not mean I'm addicted to that job. But you have to create purpose in what you do. And that's why I was saying, I was putting an emphasis on you have to find the business part of what you do. The moment you find, like now what he does, from what I've heard, he's not on that platform because he just enjoys being on. There's some money or something beneficial for you, right? So create purpose in what you do. If you're not gaming, I do not know how to use a PlayStation. I have one, I have no idea how to use it. Does not mean that I don't like it. I have my own use because I realize it has an option of not really expected. I have no purpose for it. There's someone else who wants to play games in it. If you choose to be a gamer, I know gamers who make a lot of money in Australia. I have a friend in Australia who is a rich gamer. Alright? We have people who love sports. Like Manyama, these guys are training every day. Alright? Are they training for addiction? No. But if they do not have a purpose for it, those guys will be running from nothing. Alright? So put value in what you do. Put value in what you do. Even if it's as little as I don't know how much. Okay? But just don't do it for fun. Okay? There's the fun bit of it, but create some purpose in it, and then it's a addiction. Alright? Let it not be an scapegoat. If my mind is not in a good place, I don't know. I say, I get it in your tent. I don't know. I find other things to do. I either hike, I either go for a drive. Alright? Let it not be your scapegoat. Find value in it. That's the mental side part of it. There's very little that we can do about mental health in terms of, I'm not an advocate of medicating first. I go for diversional therapies. Okay? Most people in the gaming industry depend on medication. Alright? You're gonna realize, every time I take this antidepressant, you calm down so I can continue gaming. Alright? Do something called diversional therapist. When I was, I cannot practice. Yeah, I practice over there. Every time I did something called forensic mental health. Forensic mental health is kind Alright? So what basically I would do to my clients is first go through a diversional therapy. What does this guy like from apart from this? So that's what you guys do. Apart from gaming, apart from being in space, what else do you do outside it? Once you find it, that is your escape route. Let this be like your main thing, and something substantial, and then you touch upon addiction.
Okay, thank you for that.
I hope I've done a answer if not.
Yeah, sure. For me, it's very detailed and straight to the point, and it's very clear. Because a lot of people use VR. I've seen a lot of gamers, VR enthusiasts, just escaping from their normal lives, just use VR. And that is a very good way to tackle that kind of addiction. So I think we're good with Mr. Urban. Are we good? Are we good? Okay. Yeah, we can hear you.
Can you guys hear?
There's
a delay. It's not making noise.
So I think we're good with Mr. Urban.
The delay ni kubwa. Questions
There's a delay.
Sorry for the accent. Hope you do understand. So, even like a student during our fellow panelists that are physical. So, this goes to you, Ken. Is Metaverse virtual reality? A lot of people think when they the VR set, that is the Metaverse. There's a lot of myths and misconceptions about VR sets and the Metaverse. Can you elaborate what is the difference and how they coexist?
So I'll answer that with a question, and this is just for the rationale. Is Instagram iPhone?
No.
Thank you. So basically, VR gives you access to the metaverse. I think I should have started with this. Virtual reality is the eighth form of mass media. I happen to have graduated last year with my degree in mass communication, and in my 4 years in JQuat, because I was in JQuat, we only studied 7 forms of mass media. We had print media, we had recordings, then we had radio, we had TV, we had cinema, we had mobile phones, then we had the internet, and then now we're introducing the 8th form of mass media, which is VR. So I hope I'm bringing you to the realization of this is just a new technology that's an evolution of media.
Okay, so virtual reality is not metaverse.
Virtual reality is not metaverse. Virtual reality gives you access to the metaverse.
Sure, that's a very good elaborate explanation. However, I also want to ask you something about virtual reality. How affordable, this goes to you, how affordable are virtual reality sets? And what is the future of households getting virtual reality sets?
Okay, so I don't know where to start from. These headsets, I think there's an evolution. Last week, but one we had a release of a new headset, which is Oculus Pro. We had Quest 2, and now from Quest 2 we have a new headset called Oculus Pro. And if you're talking about owning one of these, probably in the future they will be cheaper, but in order to access the metaverse, you need more than just virtual reality. Now this is where I start going down the rabbit hole. We have haptic suits. If you want to access the metaverse, you can put on a haptic suit. We have unidirectional treadmills. So assuming I want to engage in a race where I'm actually running, I can have a haptic suit on, I can have the treadmill and still have the headsets on, and I can engage in actual running. So when you talk about owning these headsets, I can mention a figure here. We have people owning land in Sandbox. I can mention a figure here. It might be cheap to some, expensive to others. So allow me to mention this. There's a park that I'm working on, co-founded in Nakuru. I hope you guys saw me wear a jumper branded Cypress Park. So I'm introducing a hub. It's an innovation hub, a recreational park and innovation hub. So we're introducing these VR headsets because most people can't have access to them. I can assure you that. Big money here has been able to invest in Kenya, having worked some years in abroad. So at the park we'll be having a number of these headsets, and anyone who would like to have an experience of the metaverse, we'll be making the prices good. At the moment, we're charging a VR experience 500 bob for 15 minutes. So you can come, you can access the metaverse, you can do a lot of stuff, not just the metaverse. There's a lot to this VR headset. There's a lot.
Okay, so Mr. Sam, what is the average price to get these VR sets in my household? And is it something in the future that most of the households will be having VR sets? Is it something we're looking forward to?
In terms of price, I want to mention the price.
Yeah.
But I'll give you an illustration of phones and how they've evolved. The reason why phones have evolved to where they are right now is because we've created the use of phones. Right? Now, have we created the use of VR? Have we created use of VR?
We are creating.
In the process?
Yeah.
So the more we create use of VR, the more available they are, the more cheaper they become.
Wow. Excuse me.
One challenge.
Excuse me. Just a question. Yeah. In between your conversation, I'd really like to know the amounts, just not the uses, if you don't mind. Yeah, he's about to mention. I asked him about the price. Although the price can change. Yeah. People are curious. Yes. Some don't escape that question. Yes. My lovely audience will come at you. Kindly mention the price.
And the specific brands you have,
Yeah.
and the functionality, which ones are better, which ones are used for gaming, which ones are used for, you understand? Just break them down for us.
So for me, I'll be very honest with you.
Yes.
I want to break down to you the reason why we need them here. The figures don't matter. When the figures matter, they discourage the market.
Very true.
I'm telling you this because we've invested in things we call P2 screens right now. I have P2 screens. We started from P5. Right now, we have over 3,000 LED screens. I'm trying to bring this thing to just modest basic before I tell you the figures.
Yeah.
All right? If I tell you this thing is 150,000, how is it going to help the industry? All right? That question in itself does not help the industry. The question that helps the industry is for you to go out there and create the use for this. The moment, like for me, every time I charge this one per day, I charge it at 15,000. He charges 500 a few minutes. I charge 15,000 a day. All right? I make money out of it. If I take 10, how much is that a day?
15K.
Have I not bought that one back? Another head.
Wow.
Now, if I tell you the figures, they don't really take us home.
Yeah.
What take us home is for you, before you even buy them, create the use. Come to Sam, I want to hire this out. Tell you, take them for 10,000. Go there and become a middleman. Before you do like 10 of those jobs, you'll be able to buy one. By the time you buy one, they've already become cheaper. And someone else has come up with another. Right now, I'm trying to sell my P4 screens because no one is asking for them. People want P2, P2.5, P2.7. Because the industry is going. Listen things with phone. iPhone 13 came out the other day. By the time that the year is out, 14 is out, 13 the price has gone down. It's because we've created the use of that item. The moment there is no use, the gadget becomes expensive. For P2 screens right now, if you come to my store, I'll charge it to you at 4,000 per panel. P3, I'll give you 1,500. Why? Demand. Alright? I've already given you the price of this thing.
Okay, I can see a hand right there. But before that, we will have a Q&A session. But kindly let me engage my online guest, Mr. Utpal. I hope our audio will not let down.
Try once more.
Kindly just tell us something
Can you hear
so that we can test. Can you hear us?
He's muted. Go on mute.
Are you muted?
No, we are
Oh, ours is muted.
Yeah.
Yeah, they can't hear us. Can you unmute? Okay, Mr. Utpal, I hope right now we're okay. Maybe you can give us a listen.
Go full. Mute. It's not dramatic.
Hi, can you hear us? Yeah, we can hear you, but I don't think the backbench will get his ears. So I think we can just proceed with that. What do you think, technical?
If you can hear, so maybe we can be quiet a little bit when he
Yeah.
speaks. Is that good?
Or maybe you can come closer. There's a lot of seats here at the front. If you want to really engage with Mr. Utpal, can you come at the front? There's a lot of seats here.
Maybe I can begin, Mr. Upal. Can you hear me loud and clear? Yes. Can you do a brief introduction about yourself? I've had the privilege to read about your bio, your CV is quite rich, but we want to hear it from the horse's mouth. Can you do a brief introduction for yourself?
We are building a virtual bank into the metaverse, and then any consumer can go into the bank and they can do all types of their transactions in the metaverse itself. So the backend part is completely ready. In fact, all the banking transactions, credit card transactions, and all other transactions, we have already built it. Right now, what we are building is like the bank branch that they are in the metaverse, and the different counters in the metaverse when the avatars can go and they can fulfill all their transactions. So that is the second project that we are working on. What we are trying to do is how to basically integrate artificial intelligence along with the data functions using Unity and Unreal kind of images, and also building the backend using blockchain. Okay, so we are using Polygon as a contract, the site page on the users, and we are building the smart contracts for any kind of other transactions, any kind of NFTs that are available here, to actually enable people to buy, sell, auction those NFTs. So very soon our platform will become, so we have already decided where we are going to host it, but very soon our platform will become online for the people so that people can go and they can actually fulfill their banking needs. Right? So currently, I think only the Indian customers will be able to do that because again, we are trying to connect with one bank here in India. But having said that, people across the globe, if they have access to that banking services, they will also be able to do all types of transactions there.
Oh, that is amazing. That is amazing. There's a lot that you're doing out there. But maybe let me just go back to your background in AI, artificial intelligence. That is one of the areas that you are mentally wealthy in, and you have been in the space. So where does the metaverse and artificial intelligence meet? What is the correlation between metaverse and AI?
I think brilliant question. If we think of Web3, okay, so AI is an integral part of Web3. If you want to bring any kind of intelligence into the metaverse, kind of environment, then definitely you require artificial intelligence. Because with the artificial intelligence only, you can build the hyper-personalization for anything. So probably, if you want to offer something in the metaverse, some product or some services, and you want to do that personalization for that individual avatar, which is coming, or that individual consumer, which is coming, then definitely you require that data, okay, and AI to do that hyper personalization. Secondly, as we know in the gaming world, right? So everything changes depending on different parameters on the runtime, right? So to bring that kind of a dynamism, a dynamic kind of an environment, it is only the AI which can help. Okay, because AI will give you the intelligence, and with that intelligence, you can actually change the entire landscape of the metaverse. Separately, the look and feel of a particular space in the metaverse where the individual is going as per his liking and all those things. So everything can be done. Although it looks a little bit futuristic, to many areas it can be done because in the gaming world it is already happening, right? So you can talk about any game. There are tons of machine learning models running behind the scene. So there is a very good what we call combination of AI and metaverse and Web3, of course, it is there. And blockchain is going to be that backbone for the entire business. Because if you want to provide any kind of utility, because in the metaverse there are two things, right? One is the experience, the immersive experience that you can give to the people. But other thing is the utility, because the only experience is not going to work. If metaverse is going to be a sustainable business platform, then there should be utilities there. Now, how to give the utilities? If you talk about utilities, you have to give the transaction there. Also, it may be any industry, it could be retail, it could be banking, it could be any other entertainment industry. You need to keep that transaction, and when transaction comes into the picture, the blockchain plays a major role, and of course AI plays a major role, because you have to give that customer experience to them by doing the personalization and hyper personalization.
Wow, amazing. And maybe I didn't mention it. I understand there are a lot of people who are green in this area. Maybe in the simplest and the most modest form, how can you describe artificial intelligence?
Okay. So, in artificial intelligence, we are trying to mimic the human intelligence into the semiconductor in a programmatic manner. So, we have a human intelligence, so we can make some decisions, right? So, some of the intelligence which is not basically written in terms of conditions. Okay, so while doing any kind of coding in a programming language, we always write conditions. These are predefined conditions. But we as a human, we can take many of the decisions which are not pre-coded, right? So how to build that kind of intelligence into semiconductor, which is your computer, okay, in a programmatic manner, is basically the aim of artificial intelligence. Okay, whether we have to achieve that, to some extent, yes, we have achieved that, but if you compare with the human brain, still we are not there. Because human brain is having something called artificial general intelligence, right? So general intelligence is something of which comes a lot of factors, like you can actually go cross-coding. That means you can apply your experience from any other domain into a different domain, right? Secondly, you have got love, you have got empathy, you have got feelings for the other people, right? So that is still not there in the artificial intelligence algorithms. But these algorithms are actually performing very well, probably better than human in some cases, like for detection of any kind of images or objects. So probably the human cannot detect it, but this artificial intelligence can detect it. But it can work only in that single domain. So if I build an algorithm or a neural network for a particular domain, it can work better than human, but it doesn't have the cross-domain perspective. That means it cannot apply the learning from one place to another domain, which is a completely different thing. But we human can do. So this is what we are aiming is we are trying to get the human kind of intelligence into our machines, okay, in different manners. So the latest thing is the deep neural network, using almost how our brain works. We have got many neurons, and these neurons are connected, and our neuron processes all the information. Similar kind of thing we are also trying to do in artificial.
From what I've understood, and this is something I also get a lot of questions from, is artificial intelligence and robotics replacing humans? But you have you put it quite well in a very good explanation, and you say artificial intelligence is more like a complement to how we live. It's not a replacement. It's a complement to how we live, how we do things, and how just maybe we find things. I can give an example of a lot of online platforms right now and companies are using AI to monitor. Maybe I don't want to use this word, but they are using AI to see what you like. They don't want to bring you ads of things that you don't like. So if you like ads to do with cosmetics, they bring you ads that have to do with cosmetics. We have right now Safaricom. They have taken an AI as their maybe customer experience or customer relations agent. We have Zuri from Safaricom. Is it Zuri? Zuri from Safaricom with another that says, "Hi, I'm Zuri from Safaricom." That is a user case of artificial intelligence. I've seen AXA is trying to create Abby from AXA. I've seen which insurance? Julie from Jubilee Insurance. These are just some of the things that AI is being used for. And also location. Right now when you want to type iHub, a lot of you didn't know where iHub is. Artificial intelligence through Google and all that. How do you track this place? So in my own opinion too, I'm a Web3 and tech enthusiast. I would say AI, robotics are not here to replace human beings, but are here to complement. But however, I also go to another point as well. There's a lot of job replacement with AI and robotics. So how do you tackle these kind of things? Because at the same time, I saw a restaurant in China, several of them, they're doing robotics. Robotics are the ones who are serving. That means there were servers there and they got fired. That is what happened. But again, some other employment opportunity was created for the company that created the robotics. So can we help us position ourselves for the future? How do we position ourselves with AI and getting opportunities in the AI for jobs and maybe inventing or startups or anything? Just give us a guide on how to position ourselves in this future.
Yeah. I think this is a brilliant question, and I keep on getting this question from almost all the forums and conferences that I do. Let's go back to the history. Okay? So, for the last 200, 300 years in the humanity, whatever opposition or whatever inventions that we did in last 200 to 300 years, these are all aimed towards replacing human labor, right? So this is the fact, right? So you talk about industrial revolution, you talk about IT revolution, and now the revolution with AI, which we call augmented revolution. Right? But are they different? Yes, they are all different, because this time it is a little bit challenging, because this time we are not only replacing our muscle power, but we are replacing our intelligence, which humans are known for, right? Are there going to be job cuts if we implement a lot of artificial intelligence and also robotics? Because ultimately in the robots, the intelligence is artificial intelligence also. Yes, that is true. Because just think of a scenario when the autonomous vehicle or the self-driving car comes into the market, sometimes after 10 years, at that point of time, there will be billions of drivers who are going to lose their job. So this is fact, because once the self-driving car comes into the road, you will not be allowed to drive cars. So now how to deal with this kind of scenario wherein billions of drivers across the globe are going to lose their job. So now there is a huge responsibility for each and every country to upskill people into different kinds of skills. And this is actually, you can see, in today's generation, they should be flexible enough to learn new things throughout their life. Because this is going to be there because in the software also I have seen in my last 25 years of journey, I have learned so many softwares, right? What we have started in mainframes, then a lot of other technologies came, and today it is a tomorrow night something new, something is going to come. So that's why in the universities, colleges in India, I used to say that a 4 years college degree is not going to give you the lifelong employment. It is not possible today. Okay, so probably a couple of years back it was true. Once you have a engineering degree, 4 years engineering degree, then it can give you lifelong employment. Okay, but now it is not the case. In future, it should be lifelong learning and be relevant with the industry. Then only we will be able to survive in the industry. Okay, it will not be one technology, it will not be one language, it will not be one education. It will be lifelong. You need to learn something to adapt yourself to the changing demand and the changing needs of the industry. So that's going to be.
Yeah, that's very true. That's very.
So maybe if I can maybe add on to that.
Yeah.
If we are to talk about AI, I would actually propose you have another summit for particularly that. I happen to the things that we have been told by a leading engineer, tech engineer in Huawei, and he actually got to show us a number of technological advancements that they're doing with the robots. But he mentioned something where AI meets the metaverse, and I love that part. It actually opened my mind to a new dimension because I really hate, I'm not, okay, I wouldn't say I'm lazy in terms of work, but I'm lazy in terms of doing repetitive work. And he mentioned something about using AI to create the metaverse spaces. For instance, the gallery that I showed you guys, I spent about maybe a week trying to design that space. If there's a way I could like prompt a command, the same way we are doing with AI art, and like have a metaverse version of my imagination come to life, that would be really amazing. I think that's one of the ways that AI is going to help build the metaverse, and that's really great.
Right. Also, something I did a research on what is happening globally, and from what I did, AI is supposed to create around 97 million opportunities for jobs between 2022 to 2025. You can imagine. This is a true statistic. I know it was done in Dubai or something in one of the unicorns. They said AI is supposed to create 97 million jobs. We are the 97 million people here. And right now we cannot have excuses that I don't have access to any school or anything. Everything is on YouTube University. My friend Mark here learned everything about metaverse designing, everything that you're seeing here, the setup on YouTube only. So it's up to us to take up all these opportunities. And I will also call ourselves official learners. We are full-time learners. That is our job. Don't be entitled to your job that I'm a marketing manager, I'm a this manager. I think the most title that we should have in this generation, I'm an all-time learner. I'm a full-time learner. I keep learning, I keep learning, I keep learning.
Okay, just to cut you short, I've actually had a hunch. I've received a hunch. If you're talking about AI and like prompting those commands and you set up a metaverse, I've recently realized that some of the metaverse platforms that I'm visiting, they need to have a virtual assistant who's there throughout. Like there's a company that was trying to check out their services. It's abroad, and I tried to visit the metaverse strategically in the course of the day, and I find this lady there. Hi, my name is Ru, and she's a real person. I believe if we can have like the Zuri you're talking about on the metaverse, I mean I wouldn't need to be on my metaverse space to have my service delivered.
Yeah, maybe now I can go to the question and answers. I see our panel, our attendees having a lot of questions. Maybe there was a lady out there corner, she raised her hands fast. I don't know if she's around, but we can start with the gentleman now.
Yeah, you said AI roughly gives 96 million jobs.
Yeah.
But what about the jobs it takes away? So,
Wow.
for example, like in Japan, it's the country that uses the most robotics. Almost like 7% of the jobs in Japan are done by robotics. So, could you explain how AI gives 96 million jobs? What kind of jobs will be taken away? And on top of that, the security of AI.
Yeah, actually I was supposed to go to that questions, but maybe I can hand it over to Mr. Gopal. He's more of an expert than I am. So maybe I can get to ask you these two questions. On security, I was also doing research on security, on AI. AI, machine learning require a lot of data. That is one of the things I researched and I saw. And sometimes that data is very personal. And most of the problem with Web 2, the reason why we want to shift from Web 2 is because of our data. We have these models or unicorns that have all our data. And we don't know what they're doing with them, but one thing we're sure is they are monetizing them through AI. So kindly address the issue on security on our data, security on our Metaverse platforms, even us as people when we're going to the Metaverse. How secure are we? Can someone impersonate me? Can someone just take my avatar and impersonate me and do a conference under my name and get the money that I'm supposed to have? You know, so that's the kind of the things, and also the question of jobs replacement. I think you can target on that, regarding to one of our panelists, our attendees' questions.
So on the security side, right? So could you please repeat the question for me? So how it is so if I could understand this, I was not been able to hear much about the question. So, but what I have understood is essentially the security on the metaverse. So, of course, the security landscape is completely changing, and it is now all cognitive security. Okay, wherein because we require adaptive platform, right? Because most of the security platforms available till now, and I think now there are many cognitive platforms are there. But the conventional security platforms are again rule-based systems, right? But when you apply machine learning models, so these are adaptive models. Adaptive models in the sense it can understand the first data, okay, and first data patterns. And if there is a change in the data patterns, so for example, in the metaverse environment, if your network traffic is changing in a different way, okay, the AI models can easily understand that there could be a malicious connection which is being entering into different parts of the metaverse, right? Or if the user behavior, right? So it can model the user behavior, and if a particular user is behaving in a different way, or his avatar is behaving in a different way, it can automatically detect and it can automatically notify the administrator. Okay, finally there will be some administrators in the metaverse environment, and they can actually either stop him or can warn him that he cannot see through this kind of activity. So, for example, even in a metaverse, okay, I can put a surveillance system using AI on top of that. Okay, wherein an avatar will not be able to do any kind of bad things with another avatar. Okay, so finally, because a lot of things are happening now in the metaverse, like there could be cases of sexual harassment, right? Your avatar is trying to sexually harass another avatar. How I can control that? I can definitely control that if I can put a surveillance system into the metaverse and put AI on top of that, right? Like we do in the smart cities. So in the smart cities, in fact, we can detect many of this kind of things. If somebody is trying to fight with somebody, or if there is a group, or if somebody is carrying any kind of weapon, my CCTV camera can automatically identify and notify the city authorities. So most cities are already there, and we have done it for many cities right now. The same thing can be done in the metaverse. for the safety and security of your avatars. Because see, it is your virtual existence there, and you want your dignity, your pride, your respect, and everything to be maintained there also. Okay. So as you have in the physical world, you have for all those sentiments. You also have the same sentiments in the when your avatar goes to the metaverse, right? Because your avatar is basically your ambassador, okay, who is representing you in the metaverse. So the safety, security, dignity of your avatar is also important there, and AI can play a major role there. And also all other scams or any kind of attacks, cybersecurity attacks, which can happen in this metaverse, it can only be stopped through AI, because the conventional method of cybersecurity is not working because the cyber criminals are coming up with newer and newer techniques, okay, which is not possible for a conventional system to detect. So for this, you require a machine learning kind of an adaptive model to understand and to stop this kind of incidents that are going to happen in the
well answered. And in regards to someone from our attendees asked, AI is supposed to create 97 billion jobs. That is what I did for my research. And he was wondering, these 97 million jobs, how will they be created? Yes. And yes, another time he sees like AI and robotics are replacing human works. So where are these 97 million jobs? Because that is one of the research I found out. I don't know what is on your end, what data you have on your end, and if AI is still rendering some people jobless, who is it hiring?
Yes, I think, to predict in which all domains the job will be created, it is a little bit difficult, but I will tell you. So, for example, now all the applications that we are building, there are some AI elements in that. So, any modern application you are building today, whether it is for banking, so I can talk about banking because I am coming from the banking industry. So, there are some amount of artificial intelligence and machine learning embedded into that, and which is called embedded AI, right? So how actually you can bring intelligence into different parts of your system by embedding some AI algorithms into it. It's called embedded artificial intelligence, and it is already been there. So any new applications that we are building in the financial sector or in any other sector, there is going to be AI there. Okay, so that is number one. So think of, okay, so in India only, so in India, if you look at the IT, so I don't know how many billion people are working here in the IT, right? So now, similar kind of job opportunities is going to come, or if not that amount, but at least a comparable amount of job opportunities is going to come in the application development space, wherein you will require data scientists to build AI algorithms or machine learning algorithms for this application. So that is number one. Number two, if you look at all the mobile apps, right? So now, all the mobile apps, anybody develops mobile apps, there will be some kind of AI element. It is not that it's a dumb application. If you want to make your application smarter, and if you want to bring that user experience into that, then definitely you require some amount of AI to be embedded. So that is also a huge opportunity, and a lot of people, data scientists, are going to get this. Now, to run any kind of AI project, it is not only AI data scientists, right, or AI engineers. It is also the domain people. Okay, so like if you want to build an application into banking, you require a lot of subject matter experts in banking, okay, who has also understanding of AI to work on that project, because AI cannot only develop an application. Okay, so if I develop a credit risk model, okay, where my AI model will tell you, looking at your parameters, my AI model will tell you whether you are eligible to get a loan or not, right? So if I have to build that model, I as a technical AI engineer, I'm not enough to build that. I require the help of the bank as a subject matter expert to help me understand the business logic inside that, and then only I can build the models as per that. Okay, and I can do hyperparameter tuning and all other things doing that. The lot of AI plus business people. So who are basically techno-functional people, who are functional techno people in the state. So they are more functional, but they have got good understanding of AI. Probably they are not hands-on, or they don't know how to do coding. And those kind of jobs are also going to be on demand, right? Similarly, on the smart cities, there are huge, and as I told you, once the smart vehicles, autonomous vehicles come, then you also need to build the infrastructure for the smart vehicle, right? Because your smart vehicle cannot, or a self-driving car cannot run in a road in India. Okay, Indian roads are like it's kind of a havoc, right? So a lot of traffic. So you need to build that infrastructure. And for building that infrastructure also, you need AI people also. Okay? Because it is not only the infrastructure will be developed, it is common infrastructure. But along with infrastructure, there are IT involved into that. Because there will be sensors. Okay, these sensors are going to continuously talk with the vehicles which are moving into the smart roads and smart infrastructure. Right? Now to ride for the AI algorithm. And so you need so now think of that. So many opportunities are there on the drone side, on your robotics side, on the agriculture, on farming, on industry 4.0, right? So we talk about industry 4.0, or we talk about post-industrial revolution. Here also, if you want to actually transform the entire landscape of manufacturing, you require AI also, right? Because AI is going to play a major role in the industry 4.0, along with your IoT devices. So now these IoT devices are powered with AI. Okay, so this can do all kind of processing in the edge. Okay, doing using their machine learning algorithms. So these are some of the areas, but I can only tell you some of these things which are coming into my mind. But there could be many areas where we will require data scientists, AI engineers, and these techno-functional people or the SMEs, okay, to support the entire AI ecosystem.
Can I add on something?
Yeah, please.
For us, I get this question. It's a very valid question because when you hear robots, you know what they are replacing. You go to countries like America, Australia, you only feel it for yourself. And you only go to the paycheck and pay every month. Basically, that's a remote replacing someone, but us we're using it to control it ourselves. Now, in our space, we actually need AI in our event space. And I know some of you are looking at me like, how? And AI helps us, one, create job creation and security. Once we have good AI done in an event that we're trying to plan, one, it helps us gather a group to target. Like right now, Oktoberfest, there's a lot of AI done in Oktoberfest.
Sure.
For you to come up with a 5-day event that traffics at least 10,000 people, you need AI. That creates job creation for the number of people we need to either usher, do events, alright? So the challenge goes to you people who create these things. Alright? Who are your market target? I'm not the only events company that comes and get events. Alright? When it comes to security, it helps us to understand how many people do we need, how many security teams do we need in an event. That's already another way of creating jobs. If AI is not done well, the number of people, even an event of 3 days can attend like 1,000 people. Like right now we have a big festival next year, and Thames Africa. It's an ICT event. You can come to the service center. But we're using AI to know who we're going to target, so that we know how many people we want to employ on that day. The moment we do a bad job in the AI industry, we failed the event, or we employ very few people. Politics, they use AI. The reason why they sell hope is because they've done some serious intelligence out there for them to know what to sell. So AI is everywhere, but AI is here. AI is everywhere, you just need to know. The way I've told you, my job is to look at this gadget and see where can I sell it and how can I sell it. But the fear is good, because once the fear is expressed, then ideas come out.
Let me also just add to that. You know, when you talk about Japan, I think for the first time in history, we have more adults wearing diapers than kids, right? The West, the East, essentially they're experiencing a population decline. To remain competitive, they need robots. But look at Africa. And I'm so bullish on Africa, and I want you guys to actually get excited. Africa, Middle East, Southeast Asia, this is where a majority of the Web3 opportunities really sprouting, right? And here we're experiencing population growth, right? It can cost for a company, because companies think in terms of profit and expense. All these jobs are going to make a lot more sense hiring you where you live. Your cost of living is very relatively cheap in comparison to someone in the Western world, right? Over here you can get 100 G's, which is not bad, right? But 100 G's in Dubai, bro, you can't survive. You understand? So these opportunities that are being mentioned are actually coming here. And the fact that the Western nations need to create these technologies is because their population is going like this. Right?
So I think to put what you just said into context, apparently, I mean, Sishtuke Sana, I'm also an event organizer, and I actually have an event today in David in Nakuru. What you mentioned about AI, to me, is algorithm. Most of you understand algorithm. If you're doing social media marketing, if you're doing whatever you're up to, I'm sure you've come up with an algorithm on how to do your thing. So that algorithm is what you use to create the AI. Basically, I've just used the same way you said about the event. I had to retarget a specific demographic. And that's how I've actually driven traffic to that website. And it's, okay, let's say there are some jobs which have been lost. Like in the past, I'd have to hire some guys to do photo shoots in the streets, go and mount some posters. But with those algorithms, I think I'm getting more traffic, and I'm ending up getting these people to do some stuff during the event. And as I actually mentioned this, I wouldn't want us to go down the AI road right now. I would want us to shift our focus back to the metaverse. There is something Opal mentioned about banks and fintech. Well, I don't know how to say this, but most of us here, we have wallets, blockchain wallets. And the catch with the metaverse is when we get to a point where we can actually link our wallets to our avatars and have our avatars own all these things that Faiza were talking about here. So let me just mention our sponsors. I'm sure they'll be talking here, but Unstoppable Domain, they're doing something great. I loved it. I realized that if I can be able to link my NFT domain to my avatar, this is where the concept of interoperability will come along. I'll be able to surf on, let's say, space, use the same avatar to surf on Spatial, buy some stuff on Decentraland with the same, assuming it's Kenzo.888, that's my wallet address. I can use it to do all these things using the same avatar linked to the same domain and access various metaverse platforms. I think this is where I realized things passing by. I think this is where I also mentioned Killer Coin. I have a brainchild here that's a play to earn game. Mr. Console, you should try this out and do a review. So basically, most of you guys are conversant with sport betting or maybe trading. So all these things require skill. There's a special skill. Come on, in trading, lazima ujue kufanya. Kimani will tell you, you have to do the technical analysis, fundamental analysis. Kama ni sport betting, kuna yenye najua mbona kiti chini wanachambua games. So with play to earn game as well, you need to know, like, to engage with the metaverse, the gaming platforms, and if you have to use your NFT domain, you can access not just the metaverse, but okay, this is basically a metaverse in itself because it's in the Web3. You can interact with the game with your NFT domain. At the moment, you can use your MetaMask. Most of you guys have MetaMask, so you can link your MetaMask, and the model in itself is sport betting, as they mentioned. Assuming me and Lynn here want to engage in a game, like there's a game that mimics PUBG. It's a shooter X. So I'll link my wallet, and I'll be charged like 0.075 BNB. That's about $20. And she'll also have to part ways with $20. Once we engage in that game, it's a metaverse. That's okay. The graphics are not so good. I mean, we're still getting there. But if I'm to engage in a game with her, if I take her down, I walk away with $40. I mean, if you're good at it, my guy, you can rip some big tunes. I'm sure he mentioned those things. So with the metaverse, I believe a time is coming where the environments will be ultra realistic. Once we're able to start using sites like Unreal Engine 5 to create the environments, I believe we'll get to a point where the metaverse will be super realistic. You can discipline yourself, as we are told here, and be on the next metaverse for like 4 or 5 hours, make your tunes, go to some event, party, do your thing. And I'm looking towards a future where all these things are coming to pass, where you can have your avatar own stuff on the metaverse. Because personally, actually, if I'm sure you introduced me as a beneficiary of trust company. I own nothing. I don't like to own anything. Because how could I anaanza kukimbiza? If there's a way I can assign some, like I can be a beneficiary and like really just do my thing,
Escaping.
Not really escaping, because the companies will basically pay the VAT and the tax and all that. But maybe on my own, they can't come looking for my avatar. It will be owning some stuff in the metaverse and all that. And well, let's say fintech is a bit big for me, and this age probably would probably shed some light on how banks will work in the metaverse. But from my point of view, I think the NFT domains, linking them to the avatars, that's personally what I think should be the way.
Sure. That's an insight. I did some research on how billionaires make money. That is how they escape tax. The richer get taxed less. The poor taxed more. They are taxed more. It's unfair, but you have to be smart. He has given a tip.
The knowledge is out here.
The knowledge is out here. This is a very kind of smart tip that we should go walk away from. I saw my fellow brother who raised his hand. We still want to have something to say. I saw you raising your hand. Any question for the panel? Okay, can you let me go with the gentleman then, and I'll come over to you. Can you go first, please? Hi.
My question was, as I've been doing research, I'm just trying to understand this space. I keep coming. My name is Dennis. I'm an artist, and just as I've been doing research, trying to understand the space, I keep coming across this framing of artificial intelligence versus blockchain. That artificial intelligence is an inherently centralizing technology, while blockchains are decentralizing technology. And I just wanted to get your takes on the panel, and especially the artificial intelligence expert.
that how do you see these two technologies? Do you agree with that framing that in terms of centralizing and decentralizing that they're kind of opposed in the pool of these forces? Do you agree with that framing, and how do you see these two technologies? Is there any overlap in what they do? Is there any interesting ways in which they overlap together?
Yeah, can you pass the mic to the next?
Thank you. Do you want me to go ahead or do you want to ask?
No, please go ahead.
Okay. First, I think my initial question was caught up by the heat of the moment. At that particular point where I was supporting the lady, do you mind if we go back to that? Is that okay? Where I think they didn't want to give us the price of the gadgets because of, I think, sir, this is to some. Apologies to take you back there. And the reason I'm coming back to this is because there are two different kinds of audiences here. There are those who want to learn the process, but there are those who want to facilitate the process. And the reason I'm saying this, I'm one of those people who want to facilitate the process. First, my name is Joanne Bessia. I'm an entrepreneur and also an investor in AI and the Metaverse space together with my partner. We're investors in education. So if you want to invest in, in the Metaverse through education, we would need to have the gadgets, for example. So obviously, such kind of information is obviously important. If you don't want to mention it generally, that's okay. I'll approach you personally. But my second point is, you talked about, this is back to Sam, you talked about mental health. And the reason we're doing that because also there's a project that we're working on mental health and the Metaverse. How can we use the Metaverse and avatars as an education platform to improve and digress mental health patients within the Metaverse using that space? As I said, personally, I'm not an artificial intelligence technical person, but I run an institution. If you know Tech Mindset Africa, I'm a business person. I understand the impact of artificial intelligence, and we bring in experts like Ken, like Ken and the likes who know about artificial intelligence to teach Africa on artificial intelligence for Africa and giving examples of Africa. And we partner with Safaricom, for example, to use their platforms to help everyone in Africa to understand how Africa can use AI for Africa. That's what we're specialized in. And in that respect, and in that same spirit, how can we use mental health in Africa using the Metaverse, using artificial intelligence to promote health and many other things, I believe, in these industries. Thank you.
Okay, I think because of time, I really have to just go with the two questions, but we still have our panelists around and we can get in touch with them. So Mr. Upal, I think you go first with the gentleman's question about blockchain and AI, how the opposing view. Blockchain is more decentralized and AI more centralized. You mind going with that?
Yeah. So first of all, I think AI is a technology which is not centralized or decentralized. You can actually use it for first of all, that is something I would like to highlight. And blockchain and AI are completely different technologies. Okay, so what, just for the understanding, what blockchain gives is a kind of, you can think blockchain is a database. Okay, it is replacing the conventional database, and it is the copy of the database is going to be there with everyone in that particular copy. Okay, so that's what is blockchain. Nothing more than that. Except there is another angle to that. There is something called smart contract, which is auto-executable. Okay, so now when we do a contract, human to human contract, so if I do a contract with you, that if you give me this, then I will give you this much money. But it can happen that you give me the item, but I say, no, I will not give you that much money because the item is not of that quality. Okay, I will give you only this much money, right? But when it comes to a smart contract written in a programming language, wherein all the conditions These are conditions, right? The quality of the product is not good, these are about it. All the conditions are written there itself. There is no human intervention. The contract is going to execute of its own, and it will send the money from me to your account. Okay? So these are the two basic things of blockchain. Number one, it is a database which is distributed. That means everyone in that community is having a copy of that database, so that he can refer to that database. Right? So you can think it in that way in a high level. Now coming to AI. AI is a completely different thing. Okay, so there is no relation between blockchain and AI if you look at the technologies. But yes, each of them are complementing each other. Although the purpose is completely different, that we should understand. AI can only bring the intelligence. From where? From your past data. So, your past data is having hidden intelligence into that. Okay? Now, how to bring that hidden intelligence into the database? Okay, so that it can help in your business is the job of AI. Right? So, these are completely different technologies. And AI can work both in a centralized and a decentralized way. There is nothing to be like AI is only working on centralized environment. No, in a decentralized environment, if you want to bring the intelligence with whatever data that you have, okay, you can do that. There is no harm to that. That is number one. Now coming to the other question that the honorable lady has asked is basically how to use the mental health, right? So already there are AI applications which is being used for mental health patients and mental health people, and also diseases like Alzheimer. So Alzheimer is a disease, normally it's kind of an old age disease, where people tend to forget their past. Okay? So at some point of time, they will forget everything, right? They cannot even identify their son, their daughter, their near and dear ones, right? So that is Alzheimer. Now, one of the most effective treatment of Alzheimer is basically to keep them reminding different things, right? In a very personalized manner, in a very intelligent manner, because otherwise they will not accept it, right? So, probably in the form of a story, probably in the form of some reference. Okay. So now there are already AI applications available, which are already being used in hospitals and also for Alzheimer patients. These are virtual assistants, okay, like your Alexa or Google Home, right? Which will keep on reminding you different things of your past life, so that you can keep reminding and remembering those. Okay, otherwise what will happen over the period of time, the Alzheimer patients will forget it. Okay, to an extent that they cannot identify anybody, even their own son, own daughter, own husband or wife, they cannot identify. Right? Now for mental health also, you can, there are already AI available, the AI applications available. Also, we can build the AI application for specific needs. For example, for a child, right? If you try to improve the mental health of a child, then what your AI application will be different from an adult, because the need of a child or how to nurture their mental health, okay, will be completely different from nurturing the mental health of an adult or an oldest person, right? So you can also build that. And AI is the perfect solution for that, because AI is intelligent enough to be a very, very personalized assistant or a friend for you, who knows you, who knows your parameters, because it has got your past data, right? And it can interact with you, it can communicate with you in a very, very personalized, in a very, very friendly manner.
Wow, amazing. I hope your question has been answered quite well. And because of time, we have to take a lunch break. So our panelists are still around. If you have some more questions, kindly let them know and just see them in private. Maybe Mr. Upal, before I let you go, you can tell us about your books and where to find you. Then maybe your party should.
absolutely. So all my books are available in Amazon. If somebody wants to read, they can read. Also, all my articles are available in the public domain. So if you search in Google, so I have got more than 300, 400 articles of different subjects in fintech, in AI, in Metaverse, in blockchain and all. I hope people will like or enjoy reading this article. I thank you so much for inviting me. It was a great discussion. I thank the other panelists because it was enlightening for me also, because I got to learn a lot of things. And I wish all the very best for your Metaverse and AI journey. And I hope that one day Africa and the African continent will come up with a lot of brilliant Metaverse and AI. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. It was an honor. Bye-bye, great people from India. Looking forward to deep knowledge from you. So maybe your parting shot. Kindly 1 second, 1 second, sir. 1 second.
My parting shot is, I'm in the same space as her. I know nothing about the text. How it's done, how the programs are done. The parting shot for you is, as much as you are creating your stuff, find business. Because when you put business in it, there's something rewarding about what we do. So, yeah, even someone who knows how to cut hair, if he only shaves his son, and he goes out there and people say he's a good barber, and it doesn't make him, it doesn't encourage him, but if he goes out there and cuts hair to this one, I'm using the most simplest example, right? And to everybody, you know, they refer each other to barbers, and the barber is better than yours. See, that gives you value for what you're doing. So, you guys have a very good thing that most people don't have. Please, now put value to it. Just put value to it. And practice it. It's money. We're living in a world of money. It's money. Put money into it. It doesn't have to make 100%. But just make sure that the 5 hours you spend on your stuff makes money.
And your handle?
Twitter handle.
I'm not on Twitter.
Where can you find it?
I'm not on Twitter. I'm on Instagram. Our company is Mipigi Ventures. There's a hype. Mipigi, yes. We're the events industry, so we don't tweet a lot. I have a Facebook platform.
Mipigi Industries.
Mipigi Ventures. Ventures. And I have a Instagram and Facebook. It's just somewhere one. Yes. You find us there. And then if you go to that page, you can hire our screens and this stuff for business. Look for work, we're going to give you a full price.
Okay, so my parting shot will be knowledge is only potential power. It only becomes power when you put it into practice, as I think here. And we have YouTube University, as Benjamin told us here. We have knowledge out there. So yeah, hey, seek knowledge, skills. Also, if you have a good tech like an innovation, Sacred Stack is all for you. You'll be able to link up with such investors and fund the idea. So yeah, seek knowledge.
Okay, thank you so much.
Twitter, just use Kenzo.888.
Okay, sure. Kenzo.888. Welcome back our MC to take us to the next session. Thank you so much. Looking forward to more interaction.
Wow. That was a long session, jam-packed full of knowledge. I know you guys are hungry like I am.
Yes.
So right now, I want you guys to just take, I'll give you 20 to 30 minutes. This is the time that you need to network. You can experience the VR kits that we have on the other side of the exhibition, where we also have our snacks. So make sure you grab a snack, all right? We're gonna have a last panelist after the lunch, and we're also gonna have 2 or 3 speakers to come to talk to us about how to make money from the metaverse, how to actually utilize the opportunities that are there, and for those who are looking to invest, we're also gonna have a session of how you're going to invest your money to have a better ROI in the next coming 5 to 10 years. Guys, did you know that Dubai, which is the first in almost everything, right? They have the tallest, building. They were the first to have a 7-star hotel, and they're also the first guys to get into the metaverse, to have a congress there. They actually have, they are coming up with a university in the metaverse. So it's not just companies, we're actually seeing countries getting into the metaverse and they're investing billions of dollars. So right now, you can just, walk through that green door, grab the snack, you can come, sit down or interact with others, and then we finalize the session. We're gonna have a game going on. So if you hear someone talk about it's a game that we're gonna give giveaways. So make sure you get involved. DJ Capricorn the next. Make sure you get contact, make sure you connect to the Big man, yes,
Thank you.